The National Electrical Code, or NEC, does specify mounting height requirements for receptacles installed in hazardous locations. For Class 1, Division 1 and Division 2 locations, the minimum mounting height for receptacles is 4 feet above the finished floor. This requirement aims to reduce the risk of accidental contact with flammable gases or vapors that may be present in these locations. For Class 2, Division 1 and Division 2 locations, the minimum mounting height for receptacles is 18 inches above the finished floor. This height is intended to minimize the risk of contact with combustible dust that may accumulate in these areas. There are a few exceptions to these minimum height requirements. Firstly, receptacles that are used exclusively for portable equipment, such as those used with extension cords, may be mounted below the specified minimum heights. Secondly, receptacles in locations where maintaining the minimum height is not practical, such as elevator pits, may be mounted at a lower height, provided they are adequately protected by mechanical guards or barriers. The purpose of these height requirements is to enhance electrical safety in hazardous locations. By elevating receptacles above the typical levels where flammable gases, vapors, or combustible dust may accumulate, the risk of ignition or explosion is reduced. These measures help to ensure the safety of personnel and equipment in hazardous environments. It is important to consult the most recent edition of the NEC and any applicable local codes for the most up-to-date and accurate requirements. The NEC provides detailed information on hazardous location classifications and the specific requirements for electrical installations in these areas. Proper adherence to these codes is essential for maintaining a safe working environment in hazardous locations. These requirements are intended to minimize the risk of accidental contact with hazardous materials or substances that may be spilled or released in these areas. When installing receptacles in hazardous locations, it is important to follow these guidelines to ensure safety. Here's a more detailed look at these requirements. Class 1 locations are those where flammable gases or vapors are or may be present in the air in quantities sufficient to produce explosive or ignitable mixtures. Division 1 locations are those where the hazardous material is present continuously, intermittently, or periodically under normal operating conditions. Division 2 locations are those where the hazardous material is not normally present in the air in quantities sufficient to produce explosive or ignitable mixtures, but may become present in the event of an accident or unusual operating condition. Class 2 locations are those where combustible dust is or may be present. Division 1 locations are those where combustible dust is in the air under normal operating conditions in quantities sufficient to produce explosive or ignitable mixtures, or where mechanical failure or abnormal operation of equipment might cause such explosive or ignitable mixtures to be produced, and might also provide a source of ignition for simultaneous failure of electric equipment, operation of protection devices, or from other causes. Division 2 locations are those where combustible dust is not normally in the air in quantities sufficient to produce explosive or ignitable mixtures, and dust accumulations are normally insufficient to interfere with the normal operation of electrical equipment or other apparatus, but combustible dust may be present for brief periods of time, or dust accumulations may be of sufficient quantity to interfere with the safe operation of electrical equipment. The 4-foot minimum height requirement for Class 1, Division 1 and Division 2 locations is intended to keep receptacles above the level where flammable gases or vapors are most likely to accumulate. Flammable gases and vapors are typically heavier than air and tend to settle near the floor. The 18-inch minimum height requirement for Class 2, Division 1 and Division 2 locations is intended to keep receptacles above the level where combustible dust is most likely to accumulate. Combustible dust can settle on surfaces, including the floor, and can create a hazardous condition. Exceptions to these minimum height requirements are intended to provide flexibility in situations where it is not practical or necessary to meet the standard requirements. For example, receptacles used only for portable equipment may be mounted below the specified heights because the equipment is typically not left plugged in when not in use. Receptacles in locations where it is not practical to maintain the minimum height, such as elevator pits, may be mounted at a lower height if protected by mechanical guards or barriers, because the guards or barriers will prevent accidental contact with the receptacles. It is important to note that these are just general guidelines, and that the specific requirements for a particular location may vary depending on the specific conditions at the location. It is always best to consult with a qualified electrical inspector or engineer to determine the specific requirements for a particular location. When installing receptacles in hazardous locations, it is also important to use appropriate explosion-proof or dust ignition-proof equipment. This equipment is designed to prevent explosions or fires from occurring in hazardous locations. The NEC provides detailed requirements for the types of equipment that are permitted to be used in hazardous locations. It is important to follow these requirements carefully to ensure that the electrical installation is safe. In addition to the minimum height requirements, there are also other requirements for receptacles in hazardous locations. For example, receptacles must be located so that they are not exposed to physical damage. They must also be located so that they are readily accessible for maintenance and repair. Receptacles must be clearly marked to indicate that they are located in a hazardous location. This will help to prevent accidental contact with the receptacles and to ensure that they are properly maintained. When installing receptacles in hazardous locations, it is important to follow all of the applicable requirements of the NEC and any other applicable codes and standards. This will help to ensure that the electrical installation is safe and that it will not pose a hazard to people or property. Here are some additional considerations for receptacle installations in hazardous locations. Firstly, consider the specific type of hazard present. The classification of the hazardous location, whether Class 1 or Class 2, and the division, either 1 or 2, dictates the types of equipment and installation methods that are permitted. Ensure that all equipment, including receptacles, junction boxes, and wiring methods, are rated for the specific hazardous environment. Secondly, select appropriate receptacles. Use receptacles that are specifically designed and listed for use in hazardous locations. These receptacles are typically explosion-proof or dust ignition-proof and are constructed to prevent sparks or arcs from igniting flammable gases, vapors, or dusts. Thirdly, employ proper wiring methods. Use appropriate wiring methods, such as rigid metal conduit or cable with appropriate fittings, to ensure that the wiring system is protected from physical damage and that it maintains its integrity in the hazardous environment. Seal-offs are often required to prevent the passage of gases, vapors, or dust from one area to another through the conduit system. Fourthly, ensure proper grounding and bonding. Grounding and bonding are essential for electrical safety in all locations, but they are particularly important in hazardous locations. Proper grounding and bonding help to prevent the build-up of static electricity and to provide a path for fault currents to flow back to the source, minimizing the risk of electric shock and ignition. Fifthly, consider the location of other equipment. When installing receptacles, consider the location of other equipment in the area, such as lighting fixtures, motors, and control panels. Ensure that all equipment is properly rated and installed in accordance with the NEC and any other applicable codes and standards. Sixthly, provide adequate labeling and signage. Clearly label all receptacles and other electrical equipment in the hazardous location to indicate their intended use and to warn personnel of the potential hazards. Post signage indicating the classification of the hazardous location and any specific precautions that should be taken. Seventhly, conduct regular inspections and maintenance. Regularly inspect and maintain all electrical equipment in hazardous locations to ensure that it is in good working order and that it is not posing a hazard. Replace any damaged or worn equipment promptly and address any potential problems before they can lead to an accident. Eighthly, train personnel. Provide adequate training to all personnel who work in hazardous locations on the potential hazards and the proper procedures for working safely. Ensure that personnel are familiar with the NEC and any other applicable codes and standards. Finally, document all installations and modifications. Keep accurate records of all electrical installations and modifications in hazardous locations, including drawings, specifications, and inspection reports. This documentation will be helpful for future maintenance and inspections and can be used to demonstrate compliance with applicable codes and standards. By following these guidelines, you can help to ensure that receptacles and other electrical equipment are installed safely and properly in hazardous locations. Remember, safety is always the top priority when working in these environments. Consulting with a qualified electrical engineer or inspector is highly recommended to ensure compliance with all applicable codes and standards. The information provided here is intended as a general overview and should not be considered a substitute for professional advice. Always refer to the latest edition of the NEC and any applicable local codes for the most up-to-date and accurate requirements.